This is the No Swear Gamer from YouTube and the Atari 7800 Game by Game podcast, and you are listening to the podcasting pride of the Smoky Mountains, the Two Dudes in a Nest, with your hosts, Dude Michael and Dude Justin.
Justin.
What's up, man?
Well, this show is a bit of a long time coming. We originally planned on recording this on Mother's Day, and I had a sweet intro. Okay, so I'm going to do it anyways. Is that cool?
All right, I'm excited. Right. Let's hear it.
So, hey guys, it's Mother's Day, and I figured what better way to celebrate Mother's Day than by bringing on my favorite mother, my wife.
All right. That's a good intro.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I figured I just could earn a few brownie points.
That's nice. That's lovely.
Sure. Why not?
But let me give her a real introduction because she's pretty big. She's pretty big time here in the radio world, news outlets and things. So, my wife, her name is Amber. Say hello, Amber.
Hello.
She has been featured on Knoxville's local news outlets, WVLT, WATE, and WBR. She is regularly quoted in the Loudoun County News Herald. And her most recent appearance, you might have heard her on the Weekly Law Roundup starring T. Scott Jones. And that's on 96.3 FM radio.
Wow. So, I really there's a lot more that he could have said, but he actually chose to just, pick certain things from my bio. I gave him a full bio, and as always, I send my bio and they choose to just read the highlights. So,
right.
I guess I'll never get to have my true bio read, but that was good, Michael.
Okay, you're welcome. When you send me like a 6-page bio, this was only an hour and a half podcast. So.
Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get your bio rhythm read by somebody.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of, I have a lot of thoughts, mostly not associated with this game. Although, well, I guess we should say we're talking about Captain Skyhawk.
Yes, that's
of course.
Although I think this is perfect timing to talk about this game.
Oh, yeah?
Why is this perfect timing? Okay, well, this game, the premise, spoiler alert, we'll get into it. You're fighting off an alien invasion, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Guess what's happening this month?
Oh, yeah, the government's releasing all their alien info.
Right. So I think the date is June 25th. Now, spoiler alert, this was just breaking news tonight. I think the New York Times reported that it's basically not going to be that, life-changing. Big surprise, right?
Right.
They're basically going to come and say, well, we have no evidence that it's an alien, but it's not us. And then that's basically all they're going to say. And there's going to be a classified annex to the report that the public will not. Yeah. So secretly,
Captain Skyhawk is down in the underground of Area 52, ready in his plane as we speak, I'm sure.
51.
Exactly.
51. No, he's in 52. You're thinking Area 51 where all the aliens are.
52 is one where we don't even talk about. So unsurprisingly, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal when it comes out.
I'm still excited.
I'm still excited. You and I have been kind of texting back and forth about, UFOs here recently. Which who isn't right now, right? It's UFO mania.
Yeah.
Or should I say UAP mania?
Yeah, that's right. You got to remember the new terminology.
It's yeah. But it is some interesting stuff out there. What if you're guessing? Like obviously it's a guess. We have zero clue. Maybe the government does know, who knows? But we have zero clue what this is. What do you think it probably is? Like, in your gut, what do you think it is?
Aliens.
You think aliens?
No, I don't know.
Are you saying that as a joke, or you just...
I don't know. I'm about 50-50. It could be aliens. It could be, I'm thinking sea aliens, like aliens of the sea, deep down in the depths of the ocean. If at all. Probably not space aliens. Or it's probably some government somewhere that's got like a new technology, some kind of new aircraft, kind of like we did back in the day. Everybody was like, whoa, what's that? But it ended up being the stealth fighter or something.
Right. So the stealth, that was one of example that I've seen is, they were like, well, the stealth fighter surprised everyone in the Gulf War when we used it. And it had been developed for years prior to that. And, here's honestly what my gut feeling is it's us. We know what it is. It's ours. And it's top secret. We're just not letting anybody know. Right?
Right. Could be. That makes sense.
A smaller percentage, I think, chances that it is actually extraterrestrial or ultra-terrestrial. Like you said, the ocean theory. I mean, these things are going in and out of the water. But I think one of the like little theories that floats out there that I think is interesting is that these are not manned crafts, that these are probably like drones, like we send, to other planets, and it's just some other planet that's further away than, us and has the technology to send a drone of some type to us. And probably the least likely, in my opinion, is that it's maybe like Russia or China that has far advanced technology that we are just unaware of.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, go America.
I mean, I think it's Britney Spears. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I think it's Britney Spears. She's been underground supposedly all this time, held captive by her father. But, I think it's Britney Spears and maybe Paris Hilton. I don't know.
Could be.
Those are my thoughts.
Could be Britney Spears. Now, I did see, Britney, have you seen this is kind of maybe old news now. Like her Instagram. Yeah, like her Instagram or Facebook or something. Like these weird videos she puts up.
Yeah, it's old news, but yeah, I remember hearing those things.
I mean, it's like certified nuts. Yeah. Like she's like nuts, right?
I think
it's not her. Oh, it's not her.
Oh,
okay. It's the body double.
It's actually aliens.
It's aliens. Yeah, there's aliens.
Perfect.
Bringing it back to aliens.
Hey, see, this is what you get. We get our first female guest on the show. We find out that Britney Spears is an alien. So
just leave Britney alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, leave Britney alone.
Free Brit. I thought we were freeing her. Are we leaving her alone, or are we freeing her?
Well, we used to want to leave her alone back in the day.
We used to want to leave her alone in about 2008, but now it's Free Britney. But now it's the aliens, that have her.
Okay.
So.
Whew. Now, speaking of aliens, Justin, do you have any history on this game?
Now it's time for Justin's historical tidbits and trivia. Time to get out your D-pad notepads because you're about to get schooled by the doctor.
All right. Well, I have history, and it's in the form of a quiz game.
Oh, no.
We are going to have husband versus wife.
This is going to be a disaster.
Quiz game.
This
now,
is
don't worry.
Bad.
Don't worry. This is a surprise bag of trivia.
Okay.
There's not a lot of trivia out there on this game, so I don't know that there will be any advantages.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
All right. So Amber, just to tell you the rules, I know you listen to this podcast all the time, so you know the rules. But just to remind the listeners, I guess, you buzz in by saying your name, When you think you know the answer, you can buzz in at any time. But there will be 4 multiple choice answers. At the time you buzz in, you don't get any more answers. So if you buzz in before the answers are read, you won't get those answers. And there'll be 5 questions, and we will get started with question number 1.
Okay, real quick.
All right.
Real quick. I typically ring in with Mike. Her name has 2 syllables.
Oh, yeah,
so just so you know, this time I'll ring in with Michael. So we each have 2 syllables.
Oh, thank you. I was going to do AM.
Okay, or we can do AM. Whatever. You want to do AM and Mike, or you want to do Michael and Amber?
Yeah.
Let's do AM and Mike.
Okay, all right.
Because it is your show. It's your and Justin's show.
Fair enough.
So I will be AM.
All right. Here we go. Question number 1. The composer for this game is the famous David Wise. Which of the following NES games did he also compose for? Is it A, Double Dragon, B, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, C, Contra, or D, Anticipation?
Michael.
You gonna ring in for me?
Well, I guess I'm going to go with Mike here.
As much as it pains me to say, it was Anticipation.
It was Anticipation.
That's what I was going to say, but I meant to say my name.
Remember, your name is Am. My name is Mike.
So he did compose the first 3 games he composed for the NES: Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and Anticipation.
Big game show, man.
Yeah. Double Dragon was a red herring there because he did compose Battletoads in Double Dragon, but not Double Dragon. All right, question number 2. The Pentagon is releasing a report on UAPs this month. One case that has piqued the nation's interest is the Tic Tac UFO seen by Commander David Fravor off of San Diego. Which ship was he a commander on during that time? Is it A, the USS Nimitz, B, the USS Ronald Reagan, C, the USS Enterprise, or D, the USS Omaha?
AM. B.
It is not the USS Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
It's D.
Wait.
AM.
I get a chance now.
Okay.
You can't just get all the guesses. If I get it wrong, you can have another shot. Well, I guess I'll go with D because you sounded so confident.
Okay, well, the USS Omaha has had a UFO sighting, but it was not the one David Fravor was on.
AM. C.
AM. C, it is not the USS Enterprise.
Oh, so but I wish it was, right?
Dang it.
Yeah. It was the USS Nimitz.
Oh.
Nobody gets the question. Nobody gets the answer.
Hate that.
I mean, I could have got it. I could have got it, right, on that, since it's the only one left.
Well, yeah, technically, but that's kind of cheating.
That wouldn't be right.
All right. Question number 3. In what month of 1990 was this game released in North America? Was it A, June, B, July, C, November, D, December?
AM.
July. It is not July.
Mike?
All right.
November.
It is not November, so we're opening back to AM.
AM. A.
It is A, June.
She didn't even know what A was. She just said A.
I knew it came before July.
Okay.
See, here we go. This is not only coincidence we're talking about this game because of the U.S. report that's coming out, but it's also June of 1990 this game was released. So exactly
this game was destined to come out. We're destined to talk about this game, right?
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
All right, so we now have a tied up game with Mike with 1 and Am with 1. All right. Question number 4. In the filming of the movie Top Gun, which actor was the only one not to vomit in the fighter jet, and they're riding in the fighter jets? Is it A, Val Kilmer, B, Anthony Edwards, C, Tom Cruise, or D, Tom Skerritt?
Am.
Am?
A.
It is not Val Kilmer.
Mike, Tom Cruise.
It is not Tom Cruise. So we go back to Amber.
Am. B.
Yeah. It is B. Anthony Edwards, who played Goose.
Talk to me, Goose.
Talk to me, Goose.
Did not vomit. He was the only actor to not vomit during their
Thank you for not vomiting.
Is it because he died before he had a chance? Poor Goose.
Probably. He never actually read one. All right. So Amber has the lead, commanding lead of 2-1.
Hope you got a tiebreaker ready.
Force the tiebreaker, or Amber wins a decisive victory. All right. So this is a tidbit. I guess you could say, not as much trivia. By pressing up, right, down, left, up on which screen provides invincibility for the game? Is it A, on the Captain Skyhawk title screen? Is it on B, the copyright screen? C, the first cutscene? Or D, immediately starting on the first level?
Am. D.
It is not D.
Shoot a monkey's tail.
Okay, Mike, could you read them one more time for me?
So it's A, the Captain Skyhawk title screen, B, the copyright screen, or C, the first cutscene.
We'll go with the first cutscene.
It is not the first cutscene.
No.
So
Am. B.
take the victory. It is B. Amber wins. It is not on the copyright.
No.
Come on, Michael. Don't you have some music for this one?
Let's see.
No, you should
I
have
think
some
I
music
do,
for this
actually. I think I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Well, I was talking about victory music, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any
All
of that.
right.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
all right. So that concludes our quiz game. We will go to Mike, who may have an interesting story about getting this game.
Maybe I do. I just want to say, first of all, had I won, I may have to sleep on the couch anyways. So, not saying I lost on purpose.
Did you throw the game? Did you throw the game?
I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that if I'd lost, I probably wouldn't have made it to the bed. All right. I do have a quest. However, let's go to a little quick commercial break first.
I'm Tom Arnold, and I'm impressed that you're listening to Two Dudes and an S.
Now it's time for the thrill of 8-bit discovery with Michael's quest to find the cart.
Yeah, so it's funny you were mentioning things like, UFOs and the release of top secret documents, because it just so happens that I saw a UFO the other day, probably, about 10 years ago, wouldn't you say, Amber? And it dropped off this beautiful alien sitting next to me, and in her hands was a copy of Captain Skyhawk.
All right.
No, but honestly, I think the true story is I think I probably did get Captain Skyhawk with Amber. I think it just kind of came with her.
Yes, it did. It did. It was
a package deal.
It was probably one of our,
I think it was the dowry, even maybe.
Yeah, it was. It was truly the dowry. I obtained my copy of Captain Skyhawk Christmas of 1990.
Oh, fresh after release.
It was. My father got this for me for Christmas. I was 5 years old, soon to be 6. And
as it happens.
Yes. And, it completely consumed my whole Christmas vacation from school and consumed my father's Christmas weekend and my cousins and everything else, as we were glued to our tube TV with wood grain. Sitting in the floor in my parents' bedroom, just crammed in there like sardines.
Memories.
And it was just such a lovely memory.
You had a much nicer father than mine, I think, when it came to video games.
Yeah, my dad became obsessed with this game. He did. And in my mind, it actually was not about aliens at all. That's the funny thing. I actually didn't find out it was about alien invasions until much later. So, like
last
2 months
week.
ago.
Yeah, or whenever we started playing the game.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, Justin?
Well, I'm going to make a little throwback.
Okay.
When I got this game, something we haven't talked about in a while. I bought this one at the sketchy video game store where I used to live. So, there you go.
It's been a long time since we talked about that one.
Sketchy video game store, which I don't think is there any longer. I think the last time I was in that area of the country, I noticed it was closed. But just sad. But yeah, so I think I went there one day and they had this one for a decent price and went ahead and bought it.
Nice.
So,
yeah, it probably came pretty cheap. We'll talk about that later in the show, and it comes down to how much this game's worth. But probably pretty inexpensive buy. We'll see.
It's kind of sad because I'm in the process of moving, and that's why honestly, why it's been a little while since we produced an episode because I've been delaying it. And,
well, it's not totally you. Because we are also experiencing the first big daycare sickness in our household. So
it's been a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, we talked about that too off the air. It's like my kids were back in school and then it took a little while, 6 weeks or so, and then we just started passing around every little virus. And so I actually had some kind of virus last week myself. Probably COVID. It's fine. And then, but either way, the reason I was bringing that up is because I am now in an empty house in Lexington recording this. There's just a few things left in the house, and I was kind of going through like the boxes that were left, and my copy of Captain Skyhawk was in one of those boxes.
But nothing to play it on, I assume.
No, the NES is still here, but no TV. So.
Oh, that's like that's like some kind of like purgatory moment or something, right?
Yeah.
Right. Can't play.
There's no joystick.
Oh yeah, the joystick. Yeah, we got one of those too, by the way. Oh, shout out to Nick D and his Retro Gaming Vault who hooked us up with the joystick, that my wife used back in the day.
Yes, it is. So, very same. Very same
one. I don't know if it's the exact same one, but it's the same. It feels
the same. Yeah, it smells the same. It feels the same. The suction cup.
It smells like butt.
It doesn't stick quite right, especially with the vigor in which I played this game.
Oh, yeah. We'll get into that here in a minute. But, yeah, Amber's not easy on the controllers. But,
it really hurts. Both of us. The controller and myself.
All right. Well, I guess we can start talking. We could probably go ahead and get into the game. But first, Amber, being such the celebrity here locally, can you fill us in on what's the hot thing to do here in town? Well,
I mean, coming from where I am, I'm from a larger city, I think, than you all are.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I go, I travel to Knoxville or the bigger city a lot to have my kicks and always have. But, recently I made a trip to what's known as the local Valley Farm, where they make cheese. They have cows and, lots of cheese, lots of cows. That's pretty much all I know about it. Did a tour of this farm.
It's a dairy farm.
It's a dairy farm, yes, locally. And
what's the name of it?
Sweetwater Valley Cheese Farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could be so exact on the air.
If the listeners may want to come visit,
it is actually a great place to go. Sweetwater Valley Cheese Farm, great family owned and operated since 1987 in the area. The treatment of.
Wait. Are we getting any kind of advertising money for this?
I would strongly encourage.
I know the people very well, reminisce that I'm just going to go ahead and call them or text them and say, we did some pretty heavy advertising.
Hey, listen. You apparently have forgotten the subtle art of advertisement, Justin. You're not supposed to just like out yourself that, hey, this is an ad.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
At any rate, I came back home after this tour of their new establishment of the robotically milked cows that they have there. I went and saw this process for myself, which is quite fascinating.
Takes me back to the days of horse and cow judging.
It's not the same. It's a whole different world. These cows don't even moo. Do you know why they don't moo? Because they're happy. But, in telling Mike about this once I got home.
You can call me Michael, by the way, just for the game.
Okay.
We just do
Well, in telling Michael about this and I got home, he brought up some interesting history that I didn't know about you all. And
here we go. Yeah.
I just can't get over it. So, if Michael wants to share this, I think I'll turn it over to him.
It's not that big of a deal. It
was to me.
We judged horses and cows. We're in the FFA.
Yeah.
And I said, you were in the FFA?
Yeah. Future Farmers of America, Justin and I.
What?
That's right.
Where I'm from, they typically don't, there's not many that go to the FFA. They're, literally farmers, or at least they work at the co-op.
Speaking of working at the co-op. Yeah, Justin worked at the co-op.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that is perplexing.
It goes to show you, these big city girls, they don't know what it's like down in the farm like us.
Right.
I even had the jacket, the FFA purple jacket.
Purple?
It's purple.
Purple and corduroy, actually.
Wow. To keep you warm in the wintertime.
Okay. It was always supposed to come down to your waist. It was a very short jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
I forgot about that. You had to put in the waist length because it cinched up at the waist.
Wow, that's impressive.
You sound a little bit sarcastic. That's fine.
I'm sure you all learned a lot of skills from that. I did participate in 4-H in elementary school, but
I do know a little bit about the withers of a horse.
I don't know what that is.
The withers. I know about the teats of a dairy cow.
Well, I do now after my experiences last Friday.
Would you? Let me ask you this, Amber. Would you rather be a teat judge or a withers judge?
I don't know what a wither is, so I guess
just answer the question.
Teat judge.
Teat judge. Okay.
After seeing what these little women go through, yes, I have a lot of respect for the cows.
Teat.
Teat.
You can judge a teat. I'd say you can probably judge a teat.
Speaking of cows, that's exactly how I got my FFA jacket. I sold as a fundraiser. I sold tickets for Cow Patty Bingo.
Now, okay, hold on. First of all, are these cookies like cow patties, like no bake oatmeal cookies? Because to me, that's a cow patty.
Sell tickets. So you take a cow. You take an actual live cow.
You do know that the game of bingo, correct?
Yeah, I know, but what bingo is, yes.
It's they take this area of a grass field, and they square off, 50 squares. I don't know how many squares there were in total, and people buy tickets to, it's just like a football board. You get a square.
Well, you get. I thought they actually did it like bingo cards, didn't they?
No, I think you bought tickets and you get that square.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
That's how it works. And then they just let the cow go in there. And then wherever the cow poops, if it poops in your square, you win. Cow Patty Bingo.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
I think our ag teacher would, he did this at the high school. He brought a cow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was next to the football field.
Wow, they did this on the school grounds. That's even more hard to believe.
So,
dang.
Yeah.
And now after seeing a cow, defecate, That brings a whole new realm to that to me, because it's not like a plop. I mean, it's like a shower, of poop coming from their butthole.
The squares are big.
One of them actually pooped several times in front of me there as I was watching him through the glass. But wow. Well, no wonder you got that nice fancy corduroy coat.
I know. It's somewhere. I still have it somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Amber,
well, that's a collector's.
Amber, you're using like words like defecate stuff. This is not how you talk non-podcast. So it's a little bit weird. I think you got the law roundup in your head a little bit. You're still in law roundup mode. Justin may be a doctor and I may be an engineer, but there's no lawyers going on around here.
Well, I was almost a lawyer.
That's true, actually.
Almost. But almost doesn't count.
It counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Speaking of grenades, how about we talk about this game? How's that for a segue?
I like it.
Time to dig into some good old-fashioned game discussion.
All right. As always, I like to begin the game discussion with a little read from the manual.
All right.
And
now, I've got the manual pulled up.
Okay, good. We just pulled it up as well. And considering how nice and proper my wife has been so far on this episode, I think no better person to read it than her, right?
Yeah, but I just want to say before you do that, is on the box art, which is on the front page of the manual, Captain Skyhawk, his eyes are closed.
He's squinting.
He looks a little squinty.
He's squinting because he's really focused, on defending.
Yeah, Lori's dead.
And it's really bright up there.
Yeah. He does look like he has a bit of jaundice, just a touch.
He does. He looks sick. More on the dead end. So, all right. Just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah. Good observation. All right. So, Amber, do you care to read the story of Captain Skyhawk for the dear listeners?
From the top. Is Earth doomed? Aliens have secretly invaded our planet. Their mission, destroy Earth. In remote corners of the globe, these evil invaders have built 4 land bases, each designed to drain Earth's energy and feed it to their space station. In just a few days, the power drain will be complete. Then the alien space station will vaporize Earth with a deadly laser blast.
Oh, sound effects.
Only you can stop this horror. You must fight with the alien forces, destroy the enemy bases, and blow up the alien space station. But how, you ask? Our top scientists have created a special fighter jet just for you, the F-14 VTS. Whether you're soaring over mountaintops at March 3rd or Mach
Whether you're soaring over the mountaintops on March 3rd or at Mach 3, whichever one. Yeah. It's okay.
Or floating in hover mode, your F-14 VTS will measure up to any challenge. It's equipped with a spy satellite viewer that lets you see your plane from above as you fly it. And it's loaded with incredible weapons. Additional firepower is available at your over space station. Nobody said it would be easy.
No, not a soul.
Not a soul. These devious aliens will attack you with everything they've got. Go ahead, Justin.
What?
You want Justin to take over? Okay, go ahead, Justin. You can take over.
He said something.
Oh, he was just saying. He was just agreeing with you.
From conventional planes and tanks to the most bizarre alien weaponry, you must be ready for anything. After destroying the enemy bases, you face your final challenge, the dreaded alien space station. There's only one weapon powerful enough to destroy it, the top secret neutron cannon. Unfortunately, our scientists haven't finished developing it yet. They're working like crazy in underground caverns to complete the project. But they may need your help. As you didn't have enough to do, you must drop much needed supplies to them before the secret weapon can be completed. Have fun, Captain. It's time to fry some aliens.
Beautiful. Well done.
I like the slight that they threw in there, like as if you didn't have enough to do.
I know you're trying to like fight all these aliens and stuff right now, but could you deliver us a pepperoni and cheese here? We're down here in the underground trying to whip up this neutron cannon.
In the caverns. Do I continue?
No, that's good.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, I think that really sets the stage. And if I had been able to read, to this level in December of 1990, maybe I would have known the true background of the game, but unfortunately I didn't. And I thought that this was the Gulf War. So, and not aliens.
Well,
which would have probably made me less interested in it if I knew it was about aliens, to be honest.
But I can kind of understand that because apparently the aliens just drive around in our equipment, like helicopters and planes and stuff.
I mean, it's quite strange, really. I mean, I just imagined,
Well, it's a mixture of things. There's some things that look like advanced things. Like there are like the circular, like they look like actually rims that go on a car. UFO like objects, but then there's like these RC cars and helicopters.
Yeah, it's weird. So the gist of the game, we haven't really talked about what the game actually is. It is a top-down. Well, it's several things. It's a shooter, like a airplane shooter, right? But there's top-down segments. There's segments that you from behind the plane, a la Top Gun for NES, and then there's also like docking segments,
which is one of my favorites.
Which is pretty cool, yeah. So it gives you a little bit of variety in the different ways you can play it. We'll come back to the manual here in just a minute, but Amber, you touched on a little bit. You played it in your childhood. I did not. Justin, did you play when you were a kid?
No,
did you know about it?
I didn't play it until later. No, not till later.
I just have these great memories of, not just during that Christmas break that I got the game, but every day I come home from school and my mother would plug this game up for me on our little tube TV, and I would just sit there and play it for hours, usually for about 2.5 hours. And I mean, at that point, I could beat the game. I could really beat the game. And I had my joint stick, as I call it, joystick. To me, that was essential to beating this game and to really get the full feel of it. Now I can't beat it. In my older age, I think it's just the tightness of my fingers. Back then, my fingers were nimble like a little elf. But, I have such good memories of that, and memories of with my dad, and my mom even tried to play it once or maybe twice, and my cousins. And I mean, it was just great fun. My dad always loved shooting things, and, to me, it was just a time to be together and shoot things. One thing I always recall is when you go to pick weapons, I always pick the Maverick. I never picked anything else, just the Maverick.
Yeah.
And I still do to this day. I don't even know how to use it, but,
that's a good point. So this game has a bunch of different weapons. I'll pull the manual back up so we can kind of look at them. But it's got a bunch of weapons. I don't really know what any of them do. I guess we probably should have opened the manual because I don't ever use them either. It's got the cannon, which is like your normal gun that you use all the time, right? And I don't know about you, we always turn on the rapid fire on the controller.
Always. That's a must because you cannot win even one level without rapid fire.
Well, we can't. I'm sure there's people out there who can, but I mean, we're in our 30s. We don't need to be like pushing the button over and over again or waiting on the bullets to go out really slowly. We're
setting in.
Yeah. We got better things to do.
There's a lot of tricks to it too. Just holding it in the valley, you can hold it in the valley and then shift to the right and hold it in that valley and shift to the left. And you really don't even have to deal with anything. Just keep your finger on that rapid fire and you can make it to the base.
Yeah. Hug the mountains.
Hug the mountains.
Oh man, I forgot. I was singing some song. What was I singing when we were playing that game? Something about the mountains. I don't know. I'll think of it here in a minute. But
hug every mountain.
That's it. I feel like I did that on every level.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the weapons do. There's a cannon. There's Phoenix air intercept missiles.
There's the Maverick
air to ground missiles. There's Hawk bombs. Are you making fun of my missiles comment?
I am. So what's interesting to me is like the course design and like what is it really? I don't know. And that it's like this futuristic like world, but then there's like palm trees every now and then. And then, like, there's the second level or the third level that has, like, got some I guess it's Egypt. It's got some pyramids, got some sphinxes. Mm-hmm. And the aliens are using the pyramids to try to kill you because the top pop off and they try to shoot out of it. It's very, but it's just an interesting style design to the levels in that they kind of didn't really it's like these squared off areas that are like kind of weird. I don't know.
Well, I guess it's there's like different corners of the earth, right? Like I said, the aliens are putting their bases in remote places of the earth.
Right. And so, whenever you did the fighter jets, in the water, it's like you got the Black Sea, the Red Sea, the Blue Sea.
All the different colors of
all the seas. And so it represents, each different part of the world. I mean, it's a unique game. I know there's not a big following, but...
Well, it's funny. I think there may be a comment later from the listeners when we get to feedback, but I think one of the listeners said it pretty well. It's one of those games that a lot of people had, I think, but nobody ever talked about for some reason.
Right.
Like, I never heard about it. I never played it, but now that the world of the internet exists, apparently it was a game that a lot of people had.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I only had about 4 different games, and, this was by far my favorite. And there was always that Brendan that nobody could seem to beat. I tried so hard to beat Brendan, and he's still there, that little guy.
He's always there at the top of the high score list.
Top. Yeah.
He must not have much of a life.
They were really bringing in the inclusion in 1990, Rare developing this game, and that the high score list, I was reading it earlier, all dudes, except for the very bottom, they threw in Carol.
I know, Carol.
Carol.
Oh, Carol.
We're going to include a woman to, make it a little equal, but she's definitely the worst.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
The Brendan score, though, going back to Brendan, it's like so high.
Like
and
5 million or something.
Yeah, it's way above what you would get in a normal run.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it just seems impossible to get. So that, and then there's a level, I can't remember which level it is. Maybe one of you guys can remind me. I think it's level 3, where all of a sudden the game just speeds up and goes really fast. Yes. And there's this red plane that chases you throughout the whole level. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I named him Brendan.
Obviously.
And
you kill it and it just won't go away.
He just keeps coming back. And that level, there's like a weird difficulty spike right there. Fortunately, when you die, this level slows down. It slows
back down to the normal speed, but Brendan is still there.
Mm-hmm. He chases you, and then he shoots out his butt, and then he kills you.
Mm-hmm. He flies right on you.
Typical Brendan.
Typical Brendan. He's too cool to be Brendan. He's Brendan.
Right. Sorry to anybody out there named Brendan, but your parents named you something a little hoity-toity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, well.
Anyways, so the levels, they kind of follow like a sequence. You go through the sequence twice, right? So the first level, you go to destroy an enemy base. So you just fly through the level until you get to the end and you destroy the base. And then you get to do the behind the plane Top Gun style game. And then you got a dock. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of starts all over again, but instead of dropping supplies, you pick up a scientist. And then it kind of all this cycles. It keeps doing that cycle over and over again until finally you destroy the space station. Now I have beat it. I beat it one time, not this most recent time, but Amber one of the times that we were playing it before I'd beaten it. I was a little bit disappointed at the space station. I don't know if you guys watched any videos or anything, or if you remember the space station, but it's basically the same space station that you dock in, except for you got to shoot bits and pieces of it instead.
Yeah.
And it seemed really easy compared to the rest of the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Justin, did you make it that far?
I agree. I mean, no, I didn't make it that far, but just watching videos, I mean, I agree. It's not very impressive.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of anticlimactical, you know, when you consider that it is the end of the game.
Yeah, it just seems a little shoehorned in, right?
To me, picking up the scientist is the highlight. Watching the little man walk out.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you, I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit to the music, because the highlight of this game to me is the music that plays whenever you get to the boss of the level.
Right.
Yes.
It is
I was going to bring this up
it's epic. It's so epic.
It's awesome, but that's the only music that it ever plays.
Other than the Priceline Negotiator song.
Priceline Negotiator. When you're selecting your weaponry.
Yeah, did you recognize that one?
No, I didn't.
Right. I'm going to play it real quick. I've got it queued up so we can play it. You, Justin, and listener, tell me this definitely sounds like the Priceline.
Because we can't unhear it.
I can't unhear it. Anyways, here you go. What do you think?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. The Priceline owes David Wise some
That's what I was going to say. He should sue them for that.
But as long as we're listening, let's go ahead and listen to that the music for that boss fight. Of course, everybody heard it at the beginning of the show, but here it is again. This is what happens when you get up to the boss, right?
I know, and you get pumped up.
Yeah, the nucleus is firing at you, and all the little things are firing at you.
Yeah, and then right when you're really feeling it, it just hits you with this part coming up right here.
Yeah, you're like, yes, I can do this. I can do this. And then it goes.
I just love that song.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's weird because, like you said, Justin, there's not a lot of music in the game. Really, not much of any music in the game.
Yeah.
But this song is one of my. It's so short. It's like 30 seconds long, and it's one of my favorite little jingles on the NES.
Oh,
it's just awesome.
How nice.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you for introducing me to the jingle.
You're welcome. Yeah. No, I agree. It's like, it's so good, and then it's just...
I enjoy, though, it's like the pinnacle is when when the wings flap backwards, and it plays another little jingle.
Oh, yeah. It's probably this one.
It's the success jingle.
It's probably this one here. Is it this one? No, that's like the weapon select. That's something. No, hold on. I'm going to find it. No, it's one of these. Right. Okay, well, I don't have that one. Sorry.
All right. Oh, well.
That was a waste of 15 seconds. My bad.
Sorry. I'll never get that time back.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and jump to music. But outside of that, it's kind of disappointed that there's no music in the game.
Yeah, it really is.
It kind of works, too, I guess, because you hear the sounds of the plane and the kind of drums on, and actually, no, it doesn't work at all. It's really kind of boring. It's one of those games where if it wasn't for that song that shows up at the boss fight, I'd turn on something else, like some other kind of music while I play the game. But I need to hear that boss music, otherwise I'm not beating it.
No, I agree. I think that it's just so good, and it's just so little to do with this game. There's so little involvement of music in this game, and they had a great composer, and that composer made a very catchy and good song, but they only used him for a very limited amount.
Yeah.
So I guess that's on rare.
Yeah, that's on rare for that one. What'd you guys think of the graphics? Like, any comments on the graphics of the game?
So I actually thought the graphics were really good, especially like the sprites for the jet and all of the other like alien craft, I guess you could say, or helicopters. But I still think that the levels were just weird to me. That was the only thing that just the mountains being so squared off. It was just a weird. It's like all the tiles. It was just a weird thing to me. Mm-hmm. They could have done better, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, the shadowing is a little strange, with the peaks and the valleys. But I guess for the time that it was in, it was okay.
Yeah, 1990. That was
31 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years into the lifespan of the NES. So, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think the sprites and stuff are really good. Like, that's probably one of the better parts of the game graphically. The levels, I had trouble with some of the levels. I feel like they were pretty bland. And I felt like sometimes there's a purple and a pink level, and they're like really hard to see what's going on. And then Brendan's in there with his red airplane.
He's so ridiculous.
And it's hard to see. So there's some design choices in the graphics department that I was not a fan of. But I agree, the sprites are pretty awesome, especially the airplane. Your airplane is really, really cool. It's really spot on.
Yeah.
And Amber mentioned the shadowing. Yeah, there is something weird going on with like the shadows.
Yeah.
Because I had trouble on occasion doing the supply drops because I felt like it was supposed to be dropping in a different spot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it was definitely a little off.
Yeah. Okay. Glad I'm not alone.
You are not alone.
That's exactly what was popping into my head.
Here with you.
This is a very musical episode. Hey, do you remember Crabman Dose?
Far apart. Yeah, he played. Where was he from? I remember talking about Crabman Dose because somebody looked like him, but I don't remember what it was.
So Crabman Dose was one of the reason I thought of him is because Michael Jackson. Crabman Dose was one of Grant's friends, if you'll recall. I don't know if we've mentioned Grant on the podcast before, but I know we've mentioned a Crabman. But Crabman Dose was almost an exact copy of Crabman, looked just like him, and. There was a night when we were all like in the apartment that we lived together in there in downtown Knoxville, and Crabman Dose he just had it in him. He just started singing "Man in the Mirror," and
I forgot. I remember that night. Yeah,
not only was he singing "Man in the Mirror," but we had like a balcony that looked over the living room. In this apartment, it's like a two-story apartment. It's like a balcony that looked over the living room, and like a spiral staircase that came down from it. Yeah. And he was like putting on a show. He was like on the balcony singing this "Man in the Mirror," and like
he was his moment.
Yeah, it was like his moment. He somehow used that spiral staircase in his show, and I wasn't exactly thrilled by it. I wasn't just really enjoying it. I think I was in just such a state of shock that I just couldn't turn my eyes away.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Grant was Harpo Marx Grant's friend as well.
Yeah, Harpo. Yeah, Harpo. No, Harpo was both Grant and Hansy's friend, I believe.
Yeah,
Harpo was the one that shoved me through the front window of our apartment. Yeah.
Right, he got a little zealous with the
game,
whatever the game that was being played.
Right, yeah, and that we'll say that's a story for another day. I think that may be a Patreon.
He looked just like Harpo Marx, though.
Yeah, he did look like Harpo Marx, curly hair and all.
Yeah. Oh man.
Anyways, final thoughts on the game. Anything else we need to say? It's really not. There's not a lot to the game. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I think it's a lot of fun.
I mean, it's about the emotional ties to the game and the memories that I've now, shared with Michael with the game. And hopefully one day our child, if he's able to...
Oh, yeah, he's going to hate it. He's going to be like, what's this stupid game?
Well, no, I'm going to force him. I'm going to force him.
He's like, geez, Mom, there's no like virtual reality in this game?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right.
No, what? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to do kids on games. You know, you've got kids that probably play Animal Crossing or something. I don't know. But do you start them on the NES and just like make sure they play the classics first?
Well, you know, my kids did, but my kid, and I think it's just common with kids. It's all about like these role playing games nowadays. It's like all about the, you know, these games where you can build up these houses and literally have jobs in these games. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird. Huh. I don't, yeah. Animal Crossing's kind of that style of game. You know, it's kind of this, you know, you're building up your character and all this. And I don't know. It's just never a game that it's kind of, you know, it's all like Sims. I guess Sims was that first, like, you know, real life role playing game. And now, like, it's a very popular genre that my kids are really into. And I don't get it. But.
Yeah, I'm more of I like to escape into the game. I don't want to like escape into something that mimics my real life.
Well, you don't want to become the game.
Right. And you don't want the game. I mean?
And I think that's a big, well, maybe that's for a different show. Maybe that's for Dr. Phil. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Sometimes we do a segment called Ask Dr. Justin. We can bring it up on there. Although the questions on that are not exactly.
Yeah, it's usually like serious. Left hand or right hand or something like that. There's no, my kids do play a lot of Mario and a lot of Mario Kart. Yeah.
One more story about kids and video games. This is a sad one. And this one will tie Crabman back in.
Tangent alert.
Crabman just told me yesterday or the day before that his son Elliot deleted their save game on Mario Odyssey and they had like almost 700 moons.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Although what I told him is every kid has to experience it at least once as they grow up, deleting a save game. Every kid does it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you've experienced it. I'm sure Scott will do it one day.
Well, it's just, you should take it as an opportunity to do it better.
That's right. That's what I told him. I said, just think you get to do it all over again. Fresh.
Yeah. It's like a brand new game.
For some reason he didn't see it that way. Anyways.
Yeah. Remember, you know, and this may have happened during this, but you remember how high pitched Crabman would sometimes get when he would get very angry?
Oh yeah. Oh, I did. I certainly remember. Most often happened on our way back from tennis away games.
Right.
I'll never forget my favorite. Okay, we'll move on and we'll finish out the game discussion after this. Okay, but I'll never forget. We would always ride back from these tennis away games that we would have. We'd ride back with your mom would drive, or maybe Josh's mom would drive, or whatever. But we would always be in the back seat, and we would drive by like a transfer truck because we knew Josh was into cars, right? He wasn't into trucks necessarily. He was into like exotic cars and stuff. But every time we would drive, we would pass the transfer truck. We're like, "Oh, Josh, did you see that? Did you see that truck? It's a sweet truck."
Yeah, well, that's the thing. This is because we would be, you know, driving to these tennis matches, and he would be like pointing out these cars, and we're like, "Oh yeah, I guess it's a cool car." And so to counter that, we would start pointing out the transfer trucks.
Really cool trucks.
Sweet truck.
Poor Josh.
Oh, man. Yeah, poor Josh.
All right. Amber, I think you're right. I think there's a lot of people out there that feel like you do. I think Captain Skyhawk probably had some nostalgia. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Nostalgia. Probably a lot of people have that nostalgia for Captain Skyhawk. But the biggest question that we need to ask is this game worth it? Justin, can you let us know how much this game goes for?
Oh, to me, it's priceless.
On price charting, they don't think it's priceless. They think it's worth
it's almost worthless.
$2.55. Yeah.
Well, that's a loose price.
Yeah, that is the loose price. But you can get the whole thing for $12.45.
What's a graded price?
just like
the graded price is. Yeah, this may be the cheapest game on the NES. The graded price is the biggest shocker to me. A graded copy, which, Amber, that means that it's brand new and like they've certified. Somebody has like certified it and like said it's in mint condition, whatever. It's like the best NES game you can get, right? It's the best quality of this game that you can get is $150.
So, what would be a graded price of the most expensive graded price?
Oh, I don't know. Little Samson, maybe.
Tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah.
Wow. My goodness.
I'm trying to think of one that might actually be graded.
What a range.
Let's see what Little Samson is. I don't think like.
Well, I don't even know who Little Samson is.
There you go. Graded.
I don't think like.
Oh my goodness.
Graded price of Little Samson's $13,286.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's that low, actually. Yeah. The way collectors are going right now with like cards and everything and these NFTs, like I'm surprised it's actually that low. Everything is just the prices of everything is just outrageous.
That's true. I'm gonna look. Okay, stadium events, which typically is higher. If you had a copy of Stadium Events, that graded price is. Wait, I got a sound effect for this. Hold on. $117,115.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you Captain Skyhawk at $149. That's a steal.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't take $117, $115 for it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm serious.
What was it? It was what was the Mike Trout card that just went for like $1.8 million or something like that?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't see
Cards
that.
were worthless for years, and now all of a sudden they're extremely valuable again.
People just have too much money right now. They have too much money to blow. Now,
I don't know if you saw this, but the Target has stopped carrying trading cards, including Pokemon cards, because they were having some issues with people fighting.
Oh wow. Yeah, I know Pokemon cards are a big deal right now. I don't know why, but they are. Now, I will say, Amber, if you said that this game's priceless to you, you would not take $117,000 for it. I'm just here to tell you right now, if somebody offers me $117,000 for it, that game is probably going to disappear.
Yeah.
We're going to buy another one for $255.
Exactly. We'll just go out and buy another one for $255.
Maybe we shouldn't publish that.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
What usually happens is after we release our podcast episode and everybody hears it, the price just shoots.
To buy, yes.
The price skyrockets.
Way up, skyrockets.
Supply and demand, you know?
No doubt.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, not true. But anyways. All right. You guys want to do retrofitted trophies?
You know what this game needs? Some retrofitted trophies.
It's hard not to sing along, huh?
Yep.
All right. No jinx. I will say, I did not explain this to Amber, so she probably didn't come with any. But Amber,
trophies?
What we do in this you'll get an idea from Facebook here. But basically, what you do is if something happens in the game, like say you defeat Brendan, okay, you blow up Brendan's spaceship. Then that would be something you could earn a trophy for, but then we have to give it a name.
Right.
So, for example, Justin, what would we call blowing up Brendan? We just call it blowing up Brendan, and
well, I have one for that, so I can give you an example.
Perfect.
Beating Brendan's score actually is what I had, but
okay.
And that is George of the Jungle. Is the trophy name? Because Brendan Fraser played George of the Jungle.
Okay, all right. I was about to say I do not get that, but gotcha. Yeah, that's good. I think I like blowing up Brendan. It's got some good alliteration there. I'm gonna go with blowing up Brendan, and that is shooting down the red plane in level 3.
Nice.
So you kind of get an idea. I don't have any other ones. That was the one I got.
I got one.
Okay.
Ball Buster. That is beat the base in the first level.
Yeah, it looks like a pile of balls.
Shooting those big balls. Yeah. So.
We did get a few on Facebook. Our listeners are going to save us here since we didn't have many ourselves.
All right.
Jesse Cleva Vidal says, be kind and recycle. And that is throw the game in the recycling bin and not the trash can.
Well, I mean, it is America. We're entitled to our own opinions.
Yeah. Just because yours stinks, Jesse, doesn't mean you're not entitled to it. All right.
Yep.
Nick DeMarco, thanks for the joint stick, says, Captain Skyhawk, play the game while enjoying your favorite pie.
Now, Nick, I know you're trying to trap us into talking about pies again, but we're going to skip right over it.
Nope, it totally worked. I want to talk about pies. There's
apple pie.
A Dutch apple pie. Yeah. A Dutch apple pie in the summertime with some ice cream. There's nothing wrong with that.
I went to Sam's the other day, and they had a apple pie, and you can imagine, because it's Sam's, how large that pie was for $9.
I can imagine.
It's huge. Yeah.
Amber, favorite pie, go.
Peanut butter pie.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
That's a good choice.
And, I don't ever get it now that my, step grandmother died.
My mom makes peanut butter pie.
It's not the same.
Case in point, husband, wife, right there. There you go. Mother-in-law can't make the peanut butter pie. I get it.
I mean, she was my step grandmother. It's not like she was that close. She just made a good pie. I'm not saying I liked her.
Oh, whoa.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Now that we're digging deep into the family history with step grandmothers and stuff.
All right. Back to the retrofitted trophies.
Yes. Sean Muldowney says, OMG, this is one of those games I could never remember the name of recently that I loved as a kid.
Oh, I feel you, Moldowski.
Is that the trophy?
No, I think that was meant for the other.
That's just their, commenting out of their heart.
All right, Justin, I'm going to ask you to take over for a second because I'm about to have a coughing fit.
All right. Nick DeMarco says, for West Virginia, and that is struggled to play this game on a subpar flight stick, joint stick, as Amber would call it. Chuck said flight stick at Nick Stevens' noggin. Nick Stevens says, just remember where Chuck Yeager was from, buddy, was Chuck Yeager, famous pilot, who actually just recently passed away.
Aww.
But anyway, he was, I guess, from West Virginia. But anyway.
So Nick DeMarco is when you're struggling to play on a subpar flight stick. That's not the one you sent us, right? Because I struggle to play with that stick. It's just because I don't have the practice, I think. But maybe you sent us a subpar flight stick and you sent us another one.
No, I think it's because I'm really too hard on that stick.
Yeah, you're pretty hard on the stick. I mean, let me tell you. So Amber, she plays. She, I don't know. She got the game when she was 5, right? She still plays it kind of like a 5-year-old, right? She'll grab it real hard.
All games, really. It doesn't matter if it's the joint stick or controller.
She grabs it real hard. She grits her teeth and it's almost like the harder she pushes on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost shaking. I squeeze everything so hard and hit everything so hard. And so I'm good for one round and I'm like dying of pain. That intensity, that drive, it's deep in my soul. I don't know how to erase it. But I don't know if I want to.
That's fair. All right. Yeah. Back to the list.
All right. Stephen Michael said topsy-turvy. That is successfully spin your way into a station. And
the first couple of times you try that spin into the space station, it's really hard. But then once you figure it out, it's almost like it's no big deal.
It's second nature.
Yeah, it becomes second nature.
You just have to be one with it, I guess.
Yes.
And then last is Sean Lane. You're in trouble. And that is kick your TV out of the window because you failed the station spin for the 80th time.
There you go. See, that's the station spin at first it kind of feels like maybe the landing the aircraft in Top Gun, one of those moments where it's like you've done all the fighting, now you got to bring the plane in, right? But it's way easier once you figure it out. But anyways.
All right. I think we've only got one thing left.
What's that?
Or no, we've got a couple things back. But anyway, I was jumping the gun. I was going to say,
we got game rating and feedback. I don't know what you were going to say.
I was going to say game rating, but anyway,
you'd be correct. You'd be correct. Game rating.
No game is worthy until the dudes have spoken. It's time for the game rating.
All right, Amber, you are not, you. I know you listen to the show all the time, like Justin said. We always listen in the car together and stuff, But the game rating, in case you're not aware, the way we rate the game is pretty much nonsense. We'll come up with a category, and then we'll just rate it based on that. So you'll see. We'll do ours first, and you'll be able to figure it out. So how do you want to rate this game, Justin?
Let's see. How about type of ice cream?
Type of ice cream. Okay. All right. Yep. I'm good with that. I'm going to go first, if you don't mind. Okay. I'm going to go with vanilla. All right. Because this game on the surface looks kind of plain. It looks like a lot of other top-down shooter games. The graphics are okay, but they're not like blowing you out of the water. There's not a lot of sound. There's not a lot of music. It just seems very bland, right? Let me just say this is like a good vanilla ice cream, by the way. It's like vanilla bean or something, right? Something that's a really good kind. But then you take a bite and you're like, you know what? That's pretty good. And then next thing you know, you're through a whole pint of it, and you've beaten the game, and you're like, wow, that's really good. And there was a couple bites there where it's hard to believe it was even vanilla. Like there's that song that played when I went to fight the boss, or that time I beat Brendan's high score. It just felt really good. So it's it's like a vanilla. It's like a really good vanilla that you weren't expecting much, but then once you started eating it, it's like, oh wow, I really like this. So that's how I would rate this game.
I'm going to build on it and say that mine would be cookie dough ice cream, and it's vanilla. It's good. It's it's a fallback. Like this game is it's a good fallback game if you want to just pop something in and play. But then when that music hits and you get to the boss, it's like getting a bit of cookie dough.
Oh, that's good. I like yours better than mine. Yeah. Yep, I like yours better than mine. I think we're making Amber hungry.
Well, after that, I actually have cookie dough ice cream in their freezer right now, so I'm going to have some right after this, even though it's,
almost midnight our time.
But anyway, I was going to say Neapolitan ice cream, that vanilla, strawberry, chocolate combination. I would say, yes, there are parts that are plain, but there's also parts that are a little tangy, unexpected. A little sour, a little tart. And then you've got that wholesomeness of the chocolate. That's those memories that kind of bind you to the game. And then when you put them all together, you say, dang, that was a really good game. I feel like I didn't waste my time. So I would say Neapolitan.
All right.
Chocolate, strawberry, vanilla.
Kudos on picking up how we do the game rating very easily. I commend you on that. Although I will say, Don't let Amber fool you. She eats Neapolitan ice cream like Homer Simpson. She makes me. I typically scoop the ice cream for everybody in this house, and Amber always asks for vanilla and strawberry. Skip the chocolate. So she's like eating. I was like, why don't we just get some vanilla and strawberry ice cream? I'll just get you a scoop of each. She's like, nope. Go ahead and get the Neapolitan. I may want the chocolate one day.
It's part of it, yeah.
I will say it was after the C that happened.
That's true. That's true. After the 19, she lost her taste for chocolate.
I did.
Oh,
that was an awkward silence.
No.
Don't worry. Truncate silence. We'll take that right out.
Okay,
and it won't feel awkward when people listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's go to feedback.
All right. We've got some...
Let me do the intro. Hold your horses. Hold them withers.
It's time for D-Patter feedback, because when you're a D-Patter, you're a D-Patter for life.
All right, you're good to go now.
All right. So we have some good Facebook feedback. Starting us off is Josh Diekman, who says, "This is one I need to put more time into, but I remember playing it as a kid and being impressed the NES could run this game." Stephen Michael said it's like one of those all-time classics that everyone had, but no one talks about. It's a really solid and fair game. It's beatable with a little practice. I enjoyed this game a lot as a kid and an adult.
I knew I'd heard that comment from somewhere. That was Stephen Michael. Of course it was Stephen Michael.
And Jesse Clever Vidal says, better than Top Gun, and some of the level backgrounds remind me of Marble Madness. That's very true. Did anyone else get Marble Madness vibes like me?
Yeah, the levels kind of look like Marble Madness, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amber doesn't know what we're talking about. That's okay.
I know what marbles are.
Do you know what madness is?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got any other feedback?
Yeah, we got a couple things. Did we ever read Ashton Barface's iTunes review?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
No.
Ashton Barface says, great podcast, great console, great games. Have Maniac Mansion, but nothing to play it on. Oh, that's...
Oh.
Somebody get Ashton an NES, people.
That's sad.
All right. And then we got a voicemail. All right. You ready?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brendan. Heard you like my high score. Well, good, because I'll always be there. I'll be the highest score of all. You know, I'm so high, I'm like in outer space because my score is so high. Yeah, no big deal. This morning, I woke up and just ate a bowl of excellence like normal. Oh, yeah, I also have to wear sunglasses at night because, you know, my future's so bright. So, you know, good luck ever trying to beat my high score. Peace.
Frickin' Brendan, man.
There he is.
God.
That man, I swear, what man, boy. Now he has to be a man. I don't know. There he is, the bane of my existence for 31 years, Brendan.
Calling into the podcast.
How is he still alive?
I don't know. How are you still alive?
I wonder. I do wonder sometimes.
Touche. All right, we got one more voicemail. You ready?
Yep.
This is probably going to be like one of the most infamous sound bites you'll ever have from Nick Stevens, but this is probably one of my favorite games of all time. Like, probably top 10.
Oh, wow.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes me so proud.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, he's got a lot of top 10s. He's got a lot of
Well, I don't care. He cared enough. He cared enough.
Yep. All right. I think that's pretty much it. It's kind of a shorter episode, but, you know,
I really am very thankful that you all had me on this show. I'm so sorry that my other commitments, you know, had me tied up for, you know, the few times and we had to, you know, reschedule, but I'm so glad that I could be on this show with you all and you know, really, y'all have been great to work with and talk to. You know, it's just like talking to old friends.
Well, I mean, we are kind of.
That is.
We've been married for how long now? Like
11
50
years.
Oh, wait, 11 years. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, let's shout out to the Wee Dude, Nico's 8-Bit Stereo on YouTube for the stereoized tunes. Shout out to the Fox Dude for our awesome logo. And you can also hop over onto Patreon if you want to listen to these episodes a week early, or if you want to get our Patreon exclusive episodes, which are somewhat few and far between. I will admittedly do that. But if you just in general want to support the show, you can go there. Patreon.com/bitbros. Unfortunately, you'll also be supporting the Genesis Gems, but ignore that and make yours support us. Where can they find us, Justin?
Well, you can find us, of course, on social media under the Bit Brothers Gaming Community. As Facebook, there's a lot of places. A lot of people put up their feedback. A lot of people put up posts and things that you can read and interact with others. And there's a website. What is that website?
I always forget. That's Bit.
Yeah.
Bit Brothers Network.
Forget the website. Call us. Here, what's the number? Give us the phone number.
Yeah, forget the website. We don't need no stinking website. Who uses websites anymore? Yeah. When's the last time you went on a website, Amber?
It's been years.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody goes to websites.
Years.
All right. That number, if you want to call us and leave us voicemail like Brendan did, is 775-7-RETRO-1. Or if you prefer numbers only, I can give you that. That is 775-773-8761.
All right.
Any last words, Amber? It'll probably be another 5 years or never until you're on the show again.
Wow. Thanks for that encouragement.
I was going to say totally up to you, but
I mean,
this was the build-up. This was the game we were building up to.
Well, I know. I mean, like I said, I'm very gracious to be asked to be on here, and I'm just so glad that we could all work this out. And, y'all have really fed into my craving for cookie dough ice cream. So I think at this point, once the show is concluded, I'm going to go to our freezer and get my Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream. So
okay, sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good. All right.
Love you,
talk
party
with
people.
you all later.
All right. See you guys.
All right.